Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Oh, all right. We can do this. It's called what? The Monday Blues. Don't feel blue today. It's beautiful, and you get to start a whole new week. You get to start fresh. Hopefully you had a fabulous weekend where you were able to get outside or something like that. Hi, Keely. Okay, I have to tell you, my coffee is so good today. I don't know if you guys saw, but look at that. Free coffee. Free coffee, and it's amazing. So that was so nice of Coffee Roasters. Hi, good morning, Sean. So today is going to be really fun. Well, maybe not so fun, because after we talk about the retrogrades, you're going to be like, how am I going to get through it? Good morning, Tiffany. But I don't know. All right, so I don't do astronomy exactly, but I do kind of follow these retrogrades. Good morning, Jackie. I do kind of follow these retrogrades, and good morning, Julie. But sometimes you can tell we're in a retrograde just because of the feeling. Hi, Ivana. Just because of the feeling, you're having some stuff happening and you're like, I think there's a retrograde. Or at least you're praying that there is one, right? Hey, Tina, good morning. Yes, okay. Well, all right, so right now, we're basically about to kind of have 4 retrogrades. So not just 1, 4. Okay, so if it's not crazy enough, it's going to go deep crazy. All right. And I'm going to kind of start with them in order and just kind of give you a little bit of what I know about them. And then you'll see if it relates to you as well. And then maybe we'll see. Hi, Victoria. Hi, Jesse. Oh, look, you guys, real quick. Look at my shirt. Rebel. Breed Rebels. I don't know. I saw it. I couldn't resist. All right, so let's talk about the Venus retrograde, okay? That one ends April 15th, tax day. So, side note, the old accountant in me says, if you haven't done your taxes, make sure you file an extension if you owe, not an extension to pay, just be wanting to get it done, okay? Hi, Adrian. But this retrograde ends April 15th, all right? But it's kind of like... You'll know, like, if you were looking at people, are people authentic? Are people really bringing value to your life? So you may have been reflecting and looking at things to say, are these people I want in my life? And it's also, in the same note, a really good retrograde to kind of open up communication and have these heart-to-heart talks with people. So, because in this retrograde, you may be feeling a little unloved or disappointed in your relationships. So, it's a time to kind of say, all right, do we reconcile? Do we fix this? Or do we let it go? And that's really the point of kind of this retrograde. It's also some financial stress as well. So if some of you have been dealing with some money issues during this last month, it very well could be this Venus. It definitely could be this Venus retrograde. And some of you, I don't know, but if you're getting those late night texts from an old lover, it's this retrograde. So the booty call text, that booty call, or that relationship out of nowhere says, oh, how you've been doing? You're like, huh? What? Oh, Helen, you missed me? Oh, I missed you too. But my teeth look white, huh? See? You guys remember Friday we did the teeth whitening. So this retrograde also, you don't want to go spending on big luxury items. Like, something may feel very appealing in this retrograde, in this Venus retrograde, but it's not the time to make the purchase. So if you're thinking about that car or, oh, thank you. If you're thinking about that car or that house or, that expensive dress, maybe hold off. Just hold off till after April 15th. Then you can go ahead and make that purchase. I love you. You guys are so sweet. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Helen. But so notice during this retrograde, are people communicating with you? Are there some friendship or relationship or some booty calls, past relationships, any of that coming forward? Just know it's a time to settle down and allow yourself, if there's that heart-to-heart that is needed, kind of clear the air. This actually is the retrograde to do it. You know, it is that time. And you'll see why as well when we get to another retrograde, which I'm going to now go into the Saturn retrograde, okay? So now, first of all, we have Venus. That's one, all right? And if that isn't enough, we are now in Saturn, and that's April 6th through the 25th, okay? Now, here's the thing. Saturn. Saturn is about karma. Oh, yes. Which I love. I do love karma. I'm a big believer in karma, and I don't know if you guys are, but I love karma. It is, Saturn's already the planet of karma. Now when it's in retrograde, we got double karma. Whew. So it's telling you to slow down a bit, right? So take it a little bit easy. It's actually a time for you to look at yourself a bit. Hi, Tina. Look at your own traits. Look at, do you need some development yourself? Take that time to self-reflect. So in Venus, we kind of may have looked at ourselves. In Saturn, it's saying go deeper. In Saturn, it's saying, all right, do you have any traits or qualities about yourself that maybe need a little adjusting just to kind of help balance everything as much as we can. And we all could, use a little work, right? It is a matter of accepting yourself for who you are, but always kind of allowing yourself to better yourself. How can I be better? Or how can I, put out to the universe who I am in a way that is loving and compassionate and empathetic and opening up that understanding, right? And so it's a retrograde where if someone has done you wrong, it will probably come around to them in this retrograde. Or if you've done somebody wrong, it's going to come back. So you might as well just say you're sorry. You may be feeling tired or depressed, a little bit of sadness in this retrograde, anxiety. I was extremely exhausted. I mean, how many of you felt like you needed to hibernate? Just pull the covers over and not come back for a week. So this is the retrograde where karma kicks in, and it's digging through these feelings, digging through the stress, the anxiety, the depression, feeling upset, working through that. Now, yeah, see, exactly, Melissa, you're feeling all of those. Here's the great thing. Let's say you've been working your butt off. You have been planting seeds. You're working so hard. You're trying to work on yourself, working on your relationships, and you're like, none of it's working. What the heck? This is, again, karma. So karma is actually saying, hey, it's going to come forward now. All that stuff you've been working on, your karma is coming forward positively. So the karma doesn't just have to be negative. It can actually be very positive as well. It just depends on what has been happening and what can we do to fix it and work on it and move forward. So it is about looking at things. What you've been working on will start to pay off, which is really great. But it is about things kind of coming to a close in a lot of ways, right? Just that karmic end. Now, the big doozy of the doozy, and the big doozy started kind of yesterday, definitely today. Mercury retrograde. Oh, just throw the computer out the second story window and call it a day. Oh, that's great karma, Julie. That's wonderful. Yeah, Mercury retrograde is about communication. It's about your electronics, anything that deals with communication. So it could be computers, cell phones, laptops, anything, the car. If your car is having trouble, anything like that. It's anything, the house, right? All of a sudden, nothing's working in the house. Yesterday, actually, in my office, both lights blew out at the same time. So there you go. All that fun, fabulous stuff. But it is the retrograde of communication. And it is that where us trying to communicate with one another, us trying to communicate to the outside world. You may be facing challenges. It is always, it's definitely kind of a tough one. It broke, your laptop is dying. You see, it's Mercury retrograde. So just blame Mercury retrograde and you're going to be fine. The way to kind of get through this is really through allowing yourself to be more flexible. So you may notice people create plans with you, but they'll break them more during this retrograde. They won't be as committed to things. So try not to be upset about those things. Just try to allow yourself to say, all right, it's okay right now. Now, here's the wonderful thing, because Mercury retrograde can have such a negative connotation, but it actually can be a retrograde of significant change for you. So let's just say the TV goes out or the electricity goes out and now you're forced to read a book. You know, there may be something in that book that now takes you on a whole different path or opens up these aha moments for you. So it creates such a level of awakening and empowerment that is actually how the Mercury retrograde can be positive. It is really, believe it or not, a great retrograde for reconnecting with friends. So if you've kind of reached out and if you've done that healing and, you know, it is allowing us to be loving in the ways that we can. When does it end? It feels like it never ends, Julie. It never ends. No, it ends May 3rd or 4th. May 3rd or 4th. But it is a period to allow yourself to be reflective, allow yourself to reconnect with people, allow yourself to kind of dive deeper, allow yourself to kind of have those aha moments. And it is about sometimes learning something new will just take you to a whole new level or opening up a whole new awareness about something. But just allow yourself to kind of just relax and breathe and kind of ride with this retrograde. So the last one is Pluto. You may just be so reflective in this retrograde. This one just ends, I think it ends April 20th. It may start or end. I think it may start or end April 20th. And this is all about your fear. So remember, let's look at Mercury, right? You're already experiencing all this stuff and, you know, weird communication stuff and stuff breaking down and stuff not working. And you're just like, and then you may notice some fear kicking in. Well, that's Pluto. So that's the effects of Pluto coming in. That's fear of letting go, fear of being controlled, fear of betrayal and manipulation. So it's not saying you are being betrayed or manipulated, but your fear around it. Okay? Your psychic gifts may tune in. Your psychic gifts may heighten because you're on guard a bit more. You're trying to be all Scooby-Doo about it. But this is a time for you to look at yourself and say, how can I be less controlling? Because, you know, we all can be a little controlling. I'm a total control freak. I do work on it, but, you know, I by no means have mastered it. By no means. And we all can, really, all of us probably have something in our lives that we're a little overly controlling about. But this is the time, this is the retrograde where you can say, how can I be a little less controlling? How can I surrender? How can I work through my fear? How can I trust more, surrender more, and just allow it all to happen? So, as you can see, from April through May, we've got this all happening. Now, it's not all awful and bad and negative. As you can see, there's definitely a lot of positive stuff that's happening and opening up around it. And it's just kind of riding that roller coaster. But when something is happening, just go, you know, it is the energy. It is just kind of how it's lining up. And it's going to pass like anything else. It's going to be okay. Not to get yourself all wrapped up into it. Not to allow it to kind of stress you out. Just kind of surrender and ride it. Ride the canoe. Just go with the flow and it's going to be okay. And, look at yourself, you know, how can you change things? How can you look at, oh, thank you, Julie. How can you look at your own self and how can you dig deeper? How can you surrender more? How can you work through your own fear? Is there anything that you need to apologize for? Take responsibility during these retrogrades. Either build those relationships or allow yourself to kind of let them go. Either way, there's not going to be a right or a wrong, all right? It's just about honoring the truth in it for you. Just about kind of saying, all right, I'm going to trust and allow this to be. And it's going to be fabulous. It's fabulous. And we do love the karma one. For all of you out there who've been trying and saying, where's mine? Well, here you go. It's supposed to be yours. So allow it and celebrate it and work through all the things we need to work through. It's all a constant progress, right? And that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. But as you can see with all of them, there's a sense of communication around it. There's a sense of us coming together. There's a sense of us working through it, okay? Oh, Jerry, you can rewatch it. So, Jerry, if you, when I close down, you'll see it on my Facebook page, and you can rewatch the whole thing. So, any of you guys, have a fabulous, fabulous Monday, right? No Monday blues here. And maybe all the work computers will go kapooey, and the office will send you home. Best wishes. See you tomorrow. Oh, thanks again to Coffee Roasters. This coffee is so smooth. It really is delicious. Bye, you guys. See you later.